So thank you so much everyone for coming on here. Saturday morning, nice and bright and early. And oh my gosh, I've been looking forward to this for weeks. We have the amazing Tara Wilson. If you haven't yet met her, she is our direct upline. Tara enrolled Rachel. She's a Pro 9, soon to be a Pro 10. And she is just amazing. She is so knowledgeable. She's got incredible experience in network marketing. She has run teams of hundreds of thousands of people. She has done like 300 million or more in business through her network marketing business. And so, guys, if we have a lady like that on here this morning training, make sure you have a notepad, make sure you have a pen, and you are ready to rock and roll and really listen to everything this amazing woman tells us. So Tara, thank you. We so appreciate you, and I'm going to hand straight over to you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. And I just love looking around at all your beautiful faces. Hi, everyone. A lot of ladies. Man, we just attract all the ladies in our team. I always tell my ladies, like, we need some more men. But you know what? I kind of like women because we women, we're 77% of network marketing. And I think that it gives us a unique edge for community. And so I know that Charlotte shared a lot of my story, and I just want to say that 11 years ago, I found this industry through a relative. I was ambushed at a birthday party. And of course, my initial was no way. I don't have the time. I did have the money. I was making about $150,000 a year working in wholesale mortgage, but I worked a lot and I never saw my kids. And that's what really attracted to me. At first I was like, well, I'll be on the product because it was a health product. The company is no longer in existence, but because health is a core value of mine and I did see the need for it. I saw the rising disease rates and I thought, you know what, this sounds like significant. No offense, but I couldn't fathom selling jewelry or makeup or I don't know, cell phone service or all these things. The reason I said yes to network marketing at all was because it was a health product. And I've been in health companies only. It's my core passion is to help people get healthier through products and education because I'm just disgusted by the rising cancer rates and heart disease. I lost my mom 5 years ago at 65 years old, 5 weeks from diagnosis to death from cancer. And it was, so it's kind of almost made me a little bit more passionate about what we're doing. And I'm just excited because, this is an industry that has allowed me to raise 3 kids. I had 2 at the time. I was able to replace a 6-figure income in about 8 months. I tripled it in 15 months in my very first company with no experience. So I learned very fast that this is a serious business. This is a serious industry with a lot of money to be made. I always tell people I was dumb enough to think I could, so I did. I always tell people, don't overthink this. Don't get bogged down by doubts or fear or comparisons. I just saw a few ladies in my upline making $300,000 a year who went on to make over $1 million a year. And I said, if they can do it, it's possible. And I nobody told me it wasn't. So I just kept going. And I did. I made $314,000 my first full year in network marketing. I started in March of 2007, made about $58,000, dropped the job off, quit my job in October. And in 2008, made $314,000. And so it's, why would you ever quit after that? So I learned very quickly that this is a profession to take seriously. So I have done so for 11 years. I have never taken more than a couple of days off, even when my mom was dying, because I truly don't think it's work. I love what I do. And I'm so awesome, excited because 2.5 years ago, this journey led me to what I think is the best company in the world. And I actually knew about it when it was a retail company because I was in a nutrigenomic company before, but we actually did a DNA test and it was $100 a month more. And it was very complicated and there was no proof that it actually worked. So I actually picked LifeVantage. Carrie's my enroller. We just happened to have a relationship from our first company. And so I enrolled with her, but I actually found LifeVantage. I've been watching it. I've been enamored by the science. And I knew that if things ever went south in my last company, which it did, it was like one of these things, that I would be looking at LifeVantage. And I have to say that, in 7 years that Carrie's been, and you guys, a lot of you met her, she's a lovely person. Her income's only done this. for 7 years. I think it's like 180,000 a month now. And I said, that's what I want. I want it because if you find a health product that's so great, then people will stay on it. And if people stay on it, it must mean it's so great. So the proof was in the retention. The proof was watching, Carrie go in the same time period like this when I went like this. And I was very attracted to the fact of the price and all that. But this has just been the most amazing 2.5 years. And we're so excited that you found us, Charlotte and Team Heart, because you have just absolutely built the most beautiful group of ladies. And I know I've spent some time with many of you. I'm looking around at all your faces and look forward to seeing you at Global, hopefully. But let's talk about what I'm excited about right now is PaceSetter. And I'll give you a little backstory is that in my last company, which Rachel and I were a part of, we were in the same team as well, we had a run to a rank. And there was a sense of urgency. And I really believe that that's one of the reasons the company grew so fast. I think they went up to from like 10 million a year to 600 million a year in 3 years. Unfortunately, there was no retention. So we lost it faster than we built it. My team at one point was doing 7.5 million a month. And I think when I left, it was doing 400,000. So quite a drop. We actually had 1,000 people a day joining the team. But what I think they got right, if they actually had good products, they'd probably still be doing good, but they don't. What I think they did right is created a sense of urgency to get your business going, and like dangled a carrot that says, let's give you some financial reward for doing it. Because one thing I have to say is that I have a degree in psychology. There's my fancy degrees from UC Berkeley. One thing I learned about human behavior, and this is really important, is that you will swell the task to fill the time that you were given the task. So let's say you're in university and you are given 3 weeks to write a paper. How many of you, by a show of hands, would probably wait till the last couple of days to start writing that paper? Maybe the night before, right? Why? Why would they give you 3 weeks if it really only takes you 2 days, right? And so we noticed a trend in the last company is that people, they had to hit a rank. It was like probably equivalent to like a Pro 2. And they had to hit it in the first 30 days. And all they got was $75. And they got the potential to earn in future bonus pools, right? Well, for me, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. I like money now, right? I don't want to be like, oh, potential. But it was a big enough carrot because I had 19,163 people, distributors in my personal team that did it. I want to repeat that. Of the 60,000 distributors in my team, 19,163 of them became what we call rising stars. That means they took action and did $2,000 in volume in their first 30 days. It works. So Rachel is actually one of her ideas that she brought to me and I brought to the field advisory board in January. Said we need some kind of reward for getting their business, because here's what we noticed. People were making calls the 29th, through the 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st, right? Did your list magically appear 4 days before the end of the month, or was it always there? It was always there. So one thing I think LifeVantage has been missing, which is why they have never had that crazy run, is because we were missing urgency. Come in, share the video, make a list. Whenever you get there, we'll be happy for you. There was no of course we wanted people, we were, launching them and trying to sell them the dream. But another important thing that I think was one of the biggest lessons that I have ever learned, and don't ever forget this, write this down. Fear of loss is a much, much, much more powerful force than anticipation of gain. Fear of loss. If you don't do it, you don't get it. It's gone forever, right? That's why one of the reason I got into network marketing, it was fear of loss, because my stepbrother was hammering me, money, 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 cars, trips, this, money, money, success from home magazine, da, 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 da. He was throwing up all this anticipation of gain, right? And I was saying, no, I don't have the time. I don't want to do it. I don't want I don't want to do this. Good luck. And then my sister called me and said, I really believe that we're going to make millions of dollars in this company. And I don't care whether you do it or not. I just want you to say, I wanted to say that what if we're right? If we're right and you don't do it with us and we go on to have great success, you're going to kick yourself. I hung up the phone and signed up. And she was right. All three of us, me, my stepbrother, and my stepsister, all made over $1 million. Well, I made $500,000. They both made $1 million in that company. They stayed, my sister made, we've all made over $1 million in network marketing because she said, if you don't do this, you're going to kick yourself. That was fear of loss. And that's why I'm in the industry, because of that one sentence. I mean, I might have joined if they were having success. But here's the bottom line is, we always go to people about like, oh, this is a fear of loss. Hey, if you don't do this in your first 30 days, you're going to lose $100. Let's do it. Let's get your list. Let's get you launched, right? So sense of urgency is paramount, and it worked. We put in, I want to say from December to January. When did it start? No, so I'm sorry, from January to February, we doubled the number of Pro 2s in the company. Doubled. You know how huge that is? I told Rachel, you know, because they rolled it out very quickly. I think it was 2 weeks. I told my leaders, I said, this will be the catalyst. If the leaders in the team get this, it will be the catalyst, the biggest catalyst that will cause LifeVantage to go into momentum. So what I would urge you to do is really, you know, make it culture, not just an idea or suggested, or for some people, whether they have, you know, experience or not, make it culture that everyone goes PaceSetter. Everyone hits PaceSetter. That's just, oh, that's what we do. Oh, you're in Team Heart? Well, Team Heart, everyone goes PaceSetter. And I, as your upline or as your sponsor or your business partner, whatever, will make sure we get you that win and literally sell out to getting that win. And I want to share why this is working. So I sponsored a beautiful girl named Lisa, and she lives across the country, and you know, she's a hairdresser and she had some stuff going on, and she was $180 away in January from Pro 2. 180, that's it. And you know what I said to her? Don't worry, girl, get it next month. Why? Because in January there was no PaceSetter program. Don't worry, girl, get it next time. She really wanted to hit it because she was going to the Elite Academy, and she's like, I really want to go. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, this was, by the way, the last hour of the last day of backdating. It wasn't like the 31st. It was like February 2nd when we were having this conversation. She was like, a lot of things just fell out. I don't have the money to spend. And I had said, well, don't spend the money because there's no raise from going from Pro 1 to Pro 2. There's no raise, right? And so I said, get it next month. So the next month she calls me a couple days before the month end and says, I'm $300 out from Pro 2. You know what I said? What can we do? I will do whatever it takes to get you across that finish line. I even put a ridiculous offer that I probably cost me a little money, but I just wanted her to get that win on Facebook, and started selling bottles of Pro Tandem and signing up customers. And I said, I'll do this, you do this, right? Because I wanted to get her that win, and I got her that win. And the difference was $100. We sold out. I sold out, right? Not just her, but the leader. So we made it happen. And, you know, it's amazing how much posture and belief and excitement she has from getting that win. And I want you to just realize that we need to do that with every single person that joins our team. Every single person, if they want it. If they don't want it, you can't call their list for them, and you can't, force them to want it. But we need to paint the vision that this is what we do. This is our first goal, is we're going to run like crazy. Get your list out, 100 to 200 names minimum. Everyone knows 200 people. I promise if I gave you $10 million to throw your next birthday party, you would find 200 people to bring there, right? So, well,
Tara,
plus,
can I disturb you and or interrupt and ask, can you explain what is PaceSetter? Because I think most or many of our distributors actually don't even know. Thanks.
Absolutely. So PaceSetter is when you hit Pro 3 or Pro 2 in the first 30 days of your business. Now, because we have the calendar month issue and the program, it's not programmed. If somebody comes in on, what's today, April 20th, they would actually have till the end of May. So they would have about 41 days. If they come in on April 30th, they have 32 days, right? If they would have come in on April 3rd, they have 57, 58 days, right? So hitting Pro 2 by the end of the calendar month, the first calendar month that you're in, the first full month, right? So if you, whatever date you join, you have till the end of the following month. And if you go if you go Pro 3 in your first 90 days, that again, following the same rules. So if you came in April, you'd have May, June, July. By the end of July, you will get $100 for going Pro 2 and $250 for going Pro 3. If you hold those ranks, and there's some people that come in and put 4 or 5 platinums in, they go Pro 3 their first month. They would get both. So it is cumulative. So you'd get the 100, plus the 250, you'd get $350. And if you hold that rank one more month, then you get the sub. So you have a potential, if someone's running fast in their first 60 days, to get $700 extra for going and holding Pro 3. I want you to think about that, right? How many Pro 3s are in your team? Could they do it faster, right? Of course they can, because that list it's not magic. They already have their list. They already have their network. It's about us getting people to take action on that list faster and rewarding them for it. Because if they don't hit it, it's gone, right? You have one shot to go PaceSetter, and that shot is when you enroll. So really making it culture that if you're new or your enroller's new, to work with, I'd say your Pro 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, to really dive in and link arms with the newest person. Make sure they've gone through the training. Make sure they're plugged into your weekly calls. Make sure they get in your Facebook groups. Make sure they have some event schedule. Make sure they have their list, right? Make sure they are prepared, right? And help them get those victories. I can't remember the exact statistic, but it's staggering. They found that Ryan Goodwin shared with at the Pro 5 Summit that if somebody makes a cumulative of $10 in their first 6 months, it's like 80% retention or something, where the normal retention might be like 16% if you don't get them that victory. So getting someone a paycheck is the single greatest thing you can do. That's one bottle Pro Tandem, guys. One bottle of Pro Tandem is $16 in the US. I don't know what it is in Canada or in Australia, but $16, right? All they have to do is make $10 in their first 6 months, and they're going to be here. 80% more of them will be here versus if you don't get them that win. So getting people that belief, because a lot of people that have not been in network marketing think, oh, these things don't work or whatever. When they get their first commission, they've completely eradicated that belief that it doesn't work, because it does. Because if you can make $16, you can make $16,000, right? You can make $160,000. And so getting people that victory and getting them a story. I mean, let's be real. If they go Pro 3 and hold it in the first 60 days, you're probably talking about a couple $1,000s. That's a great story. I mean, I know we all talk about the Pro 7, 8, 9, and 10 money, but like for most people, I don't know if you guys caught, but Darren Jensen interviewed Patty Worry, who is Eric Worry's mom, and he interviewed her yesterday, and she said, Darren, there's so many people out there that will just do this for $500 a month. That would change their life. That would pay bills. That would put food on their table. That would, keep their lights on. $500 to $1,000. And so the more stories that we create faster, that's when you start getting into momentum. So momentum isn't something that it exists outside of us. Momentum, and you can get into personal momentum. Eric Worre has trained lots on that, is just enrolling fast, getting in and enrolling a lot of people fast, getting that paycheck, because again, belief leads to action, and action leads to results, right? And I will get some of your questions. And so to the degree which you believe you'll take action, and to the degree which you take action, you'll get more results, right? So every time, if you come in and enroll 20 customers and 3 distributors your first month, you're going to be creating your own personal momentum. Now you have 3 people to work with. You've got 20 customers on your product. They're going to be testimonies in days, weeks, or months, right? And now you've got more posture to go into the next month and say, okay, let's do this, spend some time with here, but also keep recruiting. Oh my gosh, I just made $1,000 my first month, right? That's a story. I was excited about $500. I remember the first month I made $500, which was my 3rd month and in the industry, and I was thrilled. I only made $40 my first month. So if you've made $40 or more, you schooled me. There's hope. I was such a fail. And it was, by the way, it was my employee, my loan processor, and it was my mom who bought the minimum, by the way, to make me that $40. So I was actually thinking, why did they even want me, right? I'm not that good. All my family was already in it. All my friends said no. And I had a full-time job with 2 kids. I don't even know, guys, how I did it other than the fact that I was dumb enough to believe I could. And so I turned off my television and I just ran. So the steps to launch, do you have your own launch guide? I know you were working on it. Yeah. So get them through the launch guide. And again, make sure if you're a Pro 3 or above, especially because you're getting those launch bonuses, you should be tied to the newest person. If you're not comfortable enough going through it, like make sure that you grab your upline. I think Pro 5s are in a pretty good position to be that person that just can dive down and help it. But you want to make sure they go through the launch guide, they set their goal, and their goal, everyone's goal, like I shouldn't see any other goals but this: go Pro 3 by 90 days. That's it. That should be your goal. And that's a culture, and that's something that you need to instill in the newest person when they're joining is, okay, so here's your website, here's the launch guide, here's Team Heart, here's our Facebook groups, walk them through, get their business set up. It's so worth spending I spend a couple hours with every single person I enroll. I screen share on Zoom because I obviously enroll people all over the world. I screen share, I show them the back office, I walk them through Team Heart, I show them our website, where to find all the product info, the FAQs. Like I really get people prepared so that at least they can't say that I didn't teach them, right? And then we set their goals, and then we say, okay, this is what this is going to look like, right? If you came in at the platinum, you're going to need 4,000 more. If you want to do it in 30 days, you're going to need 1,500 more. Let's go grab you 10 vitality stacks. Well, that's a US thing. Sorry. That's 1,200, right? That's, and 1 gold distributor. That's a really good, so you can work it out with, maybe for ladies, you can say, hey, go grab 10 tru-science customers. Coming in a platinum, grab 10 tru-science plus Pro Tandem customers. Boom, you're Pro 2, right? And then teach your people to do it. But getting them started fast. I was talking to a gal today. It lives in a local team. She's about 35 minutes from me. And she says, will you do my launch party? And I said, sure, you're 35 minutes from me? Absolutely. And she goes, are you available May 17th? And I'm like, that's a month from now. Like, no, we're not waiting a month to launch your business. Like, are you out of your mind? I'm going to call her. She has to call her. I just got that. I'm just like, wow. I mean, we could do like a super launch. Maybe you'll have enough time, because she's actually very influential, to go put in 5 to 10 distributors, and then maybe you'll have 100 people at that launch. But I was like, no, sense of urgency. Like your 30 days is going to be up. Like, no, we can't do that. Right. So, getting them through the training, getting them their mind is, they're going to do this. Like, we are going to do this together, and you're going to have me helping you. And again, a lot of the times, guys, someone gets enrolled by someone who is just enrolled, and someone forgets that person. As a Pro 5, you should know the name of every distributor in your team. And every distributor that comes in, I go to the home screen, the little bars every day, it says enrollments. Every single day, you should be looking at who's enrolled your team, and if you're not a Pro 5, you should be working with your Pro 5. And everyone, you should be looking who came into my team, who is owning this process, who is getting their list out, who is putting them through the launch, who is going to sit with them to make calls or be available, who's going to be doing 3-way calls, who's going to help them handle objections. So my best tip on overcoming objections with potential customers. Well, I guess it depends on the objection. It's a case-by-case basis, but if you have like a specific one, what product, what questions, there's so much. Like I would always just I always still lead with the Pro Tandem, because it is, there's nothing out there like it. Did you have
what about an objection like, I don't need it because I take a lot of other supplements? Because that's a very common one.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I would do in a very professional way is say, hey, I would love to take a look at what supplements you're taking and check out the research that's been done on them to show that it's actually giving you the results that you want. Where's the studies? You know, if you take this supplement, what is the desired result that you're looking for? And has there been a study that proves that you're getting the results? Because I don't know about other companies, but we have 23 studies. And even though some of them are like not that exciting, we have studies that show that it's reducing the #1 cause of aging and disease, which is oxidative stress, in 100% of mammals. They've tested dogs, they've tested rats, they've tested humans, and it works in all mammals. And so that makes our aging study, because some people are like, well, it's on mice. Well, you can do a worm, a mice, a fruit fly, like there's a basic anatomy of human, physiology that makes it relevant for all. If it extends life in mice, it will extend life in humans, right? We just can't put humans in a cage for 10 years and control their everything. So I always say, like, we literally have the only supplement in the world that the US government studied for 10 years alongside things like green tea and turmeric, which they thought there was so much great short-term information that they believed that these 6 things that they chose would extend life, and none of them did. Green tea by itself didn't, even though it has anti-cancer properties. Turmeric by itself didn't, even though it's an anti-inflammatory, right? So I always tell people, like, the proof is in the science. That's why we're attracting, hundreds of doctors. I mean, I know you guys know what Johns Hopkins is. It's the #1 cancer research center in the United States. It's Johns Hopkins, right? And we have an oncologist that works at Johns Hopkins who's killing lung cancer in mice with Protandim. There's a study. It's just not big enough, so it's not peer reviewed. But there's a study shows that he's killing skin cancer. Well, you do know that Protandim kills skin cancer, right? If you go to nrf2science.com, you can find it. That's our site. That's all the research on our product. If you go there, it says disease prevention, heart disease prevention, Alzheimer's prevention, cancer prevention. But the reason that you don't know that's our site, because we can't put Protandim or LifeVantage on it. But that site is owned by our company. And that's what we received a letter from the FDA, by the way, a year ago from. And when we showed them that, hey, yes, this says NRF2, that they actually released it. They released the letter. So show your people, it's when you connect, I got this cancer killing product and buy it from me. That's where it is illegal. That's where the messiness comes in. So you can say NRF2 kills cancer. NRF2 helps people with MS. NRF2 extends your life. But if the second you put Protandim or LifeVantage, that's when it's not legal. But you can talk about NRF2 all the day. Now, because I'm on the field advisory board, I do talk to Eric Marchant every once in a while, and he pops on our calls because we like to ask him. We've ruined Little Yellow Pill, because now Little Yellow Pill has been identified to be Protandim. So I was asking everybody in the US, and I don't know if it got posted in yours. I'm asking everyone to change to NRF2 activation, because that's generic enough, because there's other NRF2 activators. Bacopa by itself is an NRF2 activator. Pine bark, green tea, there's a lot of NRF2 activators. And so it doesn't pigeonhole us into making illegal claims. So you can say, NRF2 kills cancer in mice, and post the study, but just don't post Protandim or LifeVantage or a Little Yellow Pill. Like, medical breakthrough, # medical breakthrough, and he did say it was right. The other thing, I don't know how we got on compliance, but you can't say residual income. You can say financial freedom. You can't say residual income. So yes, yep, he said that, because it's become Protandim. But NRF2 activation, there's 10,000 studies. Oh, I just found this yesterday. I got to show you guys, hot off the press. I'll drop it to you, and you can put it in your group. This is how many new studies have been done on NRF2. So that first dot is 1995, and the squares are up thousands, and the last dot is a little over 9,000. So this is how many studies have been done on NRF2 over the last, let's see, 20 years. So talking about trends, look at that line, you guys. This is now science, right? So, and we're at the forefront of this because we have the only one that has 7 patents. We have the only one that has 23 studies. We have the only one that is proven to extend life. And so I don't know if you guys ever have watched my US overview in the sneak peeks or group, but to answer the question of why I need this is because in the last 200 years, our environment's changed and our cells are still producing the same enzymes that were enough to cope with our non-stressful, non-toxic environment. And all of a sudden, welcome industrial revolution, your cells are being bombarded from lethargy, like sitting around. They say lethargy or sitting too much is the new smoking. They say that if you don't get up and move your body where our bodies are meant to move. And I have this great book I just bought. Where is it? Oh, I brought it. I bought a biohacking book. Actually, this guy is the biohacker. And he says basically sitting too long is the new smoking, that it's causing fatty liver. It's causing all kinds of problems. Just getting up and just walking around your house, maybe jumping on maybe just running in place for 60 seconds, anything just to keep your body moving. But we didn't have cleaners, household cleaners, toxins, herbicides, pesticides, fungicides. Tell someone, look around. We didn't have thousands of toxins, and our bodies are still producing enough antioxidants for our environment 200 years ago. We haven't evolved that fast. And so we have to go in and biohack and turn the switch and say, let's kick it up. And kicking it up is making a difference. So I don't care if they are a raw vegan eating the sprout as it comes out of the ground, they're not going to get enough because 1% of all free radicals are neutralized by diet or supplements. 99%, this is the most important thing probably in the call, 99% are neutralized by superoxide dismutase, which you cannot eat because it just gets destroyed in the stomach. 99% of all free radicals in your body are neutralized by the superoxide dismutase because the most damaging is the superoxide anion, which is a free radical. You cannot eat that. That information, by the way, I got in Dr. Sanjay Gupta's, if you have not read that, it's on abclopill.com research. Go all the way to the bottom, just click and open that. It's 5 pages. You will learn more from those 5 pages than anything else on exactly what our product does. And that will equip you and also give you the posture and belief that you'll be bulletproof. If you haven't read that, do it today. 5 pages, it'll take you 10 minutes, do it today. Like, take action now, do it this morning before you go out. It'll take you 10 minutes. So we can't say passive income. Yeah, we can say for yes, I'm sure you're on it, Charlotte. You guys are lucky that Charlotte, everything matters, and Charlotte takes that to the degree which you guys are very lucky to have the leaders you have, and Charlotte is very good about communicating because we all are trying to protect this baby. So, but the last thing, any other questions? What do you do when you're in forums and others have mentioned Protandim and MS? Other distributors?
Yeah, so it's probably like you're in a setting, maybe an opportunity meeting, and somebody gets up and talks about Protandim help their MS, which should never happen because that's not compliant, right? But it does sometimes. Well, so what do you do, Tara?
Well, as long as no one's recording it, I mean, it's not a foul unless the ref blows a whistle. I mean, if you're sharing in a small living room, a testimony, you just can't, it's where the stickiness is, where they got to prove it. But they're not just coming after companies, guys. They're going after top distributors who are making claims. I know the couple of the oil companies are under sharp fire investigation, but not just from the company. They're actually suing or prosecuting individuals. And so this isn't something like LifeVantage will get in trouble if you make claims. We always just say to, oh, Tracy, she just posted it. Research tab of ABC pill all the way down. You'll see a good looking Indian doctor, and he wrote a book called Chasing Life. Now, he doesn't say Protandim, but he talks about Dr. McCord and the 5 herbs because we didn't pay him an endorsement. So can you please, yeah. So we good on that?
Yeah, we done all the questions, Tara. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, Look at the comments. People are just loving you as always. Thank you so much, Tara. Let's see, I think there's one more. It's just a thank you. So is there anything you want to close off with, Tara?
Yeah, I would just say, again, make it if you are not a PaceSetter, go PaceSetter. And then of course, I forgot to talk about PaceSetter. If you help 3 people, go PaceSetter, whether it's 2 or 3, 3 different individuals, you actually go PaceSetter Pro. And I know that earns you a heap of points for some of the incentives, like here in the US, our next incentive trip, that earns you 250 points, which is almost 10% of the points. So just again, like everything you do will set the example and the pace for your team. So get in your own personal momentum, pour that in. You know, the whole, if you guys haven't watched the 1 a month, watch the 1 a month. Like, I swear I've been at the top of 4 companies out of 4. I've never failed because I've used that plan. It's a simple, just getting 1 new distributor a month and you know, just keep working with the newest person. Everyone like is so surprised. I know all that. Oh yeah, I already met your new person. Like, you know, she reached out to me on Facebook. Like, I know all the new people, because the most important thing you can do as you're growing the organization is never get away from the newest distributor. And if you're not helping them personally, making sure they do. And that right now means PaceSetter. If we show that this program works, it will become permanent. They gave us 6 months or 5 months. If it becomes permanent, I really believe this is the one thing that puts our company to 500 million, to $1 billion, just getting those people the victories and getting that badge, giving them that victory, and setting their business up for a pace that will actually carry them to the top. So thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you so much, Tara. Guys, just to close off, I have a few short announcements. Just to recap, our training is now fortnightly on a Monday, and the next week it's on a Saturday. So like today we have Saturday morning, and then next week it's Monday night, 8 p.m. again. And then the following week it's going to be Saturday morning. So every alternate, it's a Monday or a Saturday. And the reason we're doing that is because we're pulling in beautiful people like Tara, all the way from the States, to come and help us train. And of course the time difference makes it a bit difficult to do it in the week at night. So watch out for the posts in Team Hot United. You'll see it up there. Every week we'll post what the next training is. On Monday night we have a very special training, and we are going to be interviewing 10 people who are going to share their pro tandem and tru-science stories. How awesome is that? So be sure to tune into that. I think it's going to inspire you. It's going to give you some ideas of who else you can speak to, because something may just trigger another name on your list. So that's going to be really cool. And then today, guys, we are giving away, I think it's about 20 tru-science hand creams in our Activate Revolution Facebook page. So on the hour, we started at 8 o'clock. Thank you, Rebecca McCoulty. You are a superstar. She has managed and organized this whole thing today. She started with the first giveaway at 8. There's another one now at 9. I'm doing one at 10. And so I believe it's going to run through a couple of, maybe until 5 or 6 this afternoon. Just watch out for posts. So if you don't have people in that group, get them in there. Tell them to, on the hour, be on that Facebook Live, and they stand a chance to win that free hand cream. If you struggle to get through to customer service yesterday afternoon, apologies, I wasn't aware of this. But apparently there was an upgrade, a system upgrade done, and they sent the staff home early, and didn't really think through how it would affect us here in Australia. So I think from about 2 to 4:30 we had nobody in the office, but they're all back on board today. So call in today, guys. If ever that happens, use email, because the minute they're back in the office, they will respond to your email. And then New Zealand launched on Monday. Oh my gosh, we have had so many enrollments from New Zealand. I think we've got some of our New Zealanders on here, Marguerite and Rubin and Leon. Welcome, guys. Any others, forgive me if I don't know your name at this stage, but welcome, guys. Work New Zealand. We've got a beautiful market there who need our product. And then from me, I'm off to Canada this morning. Super excited to go see our son. We haven't seen him for 5 months. It's the longest ever I haven't seen my boy. So there's going to be lots of tears, I can guarantee you. But many of you will see in the Bahamas, and the others of you I'll see on Zooms. I'll be on all these Zooms, not going to miss anything. So love you guys, appreciate you. And Tara, have no words for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We honor you and respect you. Thank you.
I can't wait to see you. I get to see you soon. Love you guys.
Soon. Have a great weekend, Aussies. See ya. Oh, and Julie from the UK, I saw you on here. Have a good weekend. See you guys.